Hey, happy Mindful Monday. I have a really awesome tool to share with you today. A super awesome technique that's really simple and easy to use, and it fits right in with your everyday life. And the best part about it is it's excellent for reducing stress, especially when that stress is completely overwhelming. So, what am I talking about? I'm talking about something called the physiological sigh. But before we get to that, let's talk about why it's important to have a tool like this. How often do we have stress in our lives? Like pretty much every day, right? Sometimes it's really big stressors, like if the car breaks down or something bad happens at work that maybe jeopardizes your job. And sometimes it's little stressors, stubbing your toe while getting ready in the morning, accidentally spilling your coffee, or your kid incessantly going, "Mom, Mom, Mom, Mom," till you want to scream at them to go away.
Mom, Mom, Mom.
When we have these kinds of stress in our life, we need a way to cope so that we don't react badly. We don't want to scream at the kid, "Get out of my face." We don't want to throw the coffee cup across the room after the coffee spills. And we want to be able to handle big challenges like car breakdowns and work-related issues. So when we do get stressed, the autonomic nervous system within our body gets all riled up. We tend to start breathing shallowly, like not quite that drastic, but if you counted your breaths when you're stressed, you would notice that you're taking more breaths and they are shallower. And the fight or flight system in our brain, the amygdala, starts firing, fight something, run away, fight something, run away. And we can either end up like eating an entire quart of ice cream from the freezer, wanting to curl up in the fetal position and cry, or some other way of needing to escape, get away, or fight, yelling at somebody, or worse yet, throat punching somebody. So what do? How do we get that under control? And how does getting it under control change what's happening in our body? So for starters, when we do get stressed, our carbon dioxide levels go up because we're hyperventilating. And that carbon dioxide leads to feelings like agitation and anxiety. It actually increases our anxiety. It doesn't help. I don't know why we do it. That'd be a good question. I should research that. Like, why do we hyperventilate if it makes things worse? Probably some physiological evolutionary thing. If you know, tell me in the comments. But when we use the physiologic sigh or the physiological sigh, it expands the lungs, allowing our lungs to take in more oxygen and helping us return the balance of oxygen and CO2 to a better place so that our body's getting what it needs and it can be calm. This was actually something that was researched by two scientists out of California, Jack Feldman and Mark Krasnow. They rediscovered this thing that was already known decades ago, but somehow forgotten. But what really strikes me about it is how natural it is. So if you've ever seen a child just completely lose their mind and cry really, really hard, we've probably all had a kid in our lives that's done that, or maybe we remember being a kid and like the hardest, ugliest cry that you've ever done. When the crying begins to subside, the body automatically does this thing, and it looks kind of like this. Have you ever witnessed that? Probably if you've been around kids who've cried, that sucking in air deeply and then a long sigh or a long exhale. That is the physiological sigh. What's amazing about it is, number one, it's really simple. It's very easy to do. Number two, it is possible to do it much less dramatically so that people don't realize maybe that you're doing it, or at least it's a little less obvious. Number three, you don't have to stop what you're doing and go into another room or dim the lights and turn on peaceful music for this to work. You can do it right in the midst of whatever you're doing. I can be driving through traffic wanting to like go all monster truck on all the cars around me. I live in the Seattle area. Traffic is like 10 p.m. at night, we can be in standstill traffic on the freeway around here. It's ridiculous. It's nuts. So yeah, I get really agitated when I get stuck in traffic. So having this tool that I can do while sitting there staring at red lights, amazing. And all you have to do is take those 2 quick breaths in and then 1 long breath out. You begin to open the lungs with the first breath, and then you breathe in a little bit more, and it really opens up your lungs, gets a lot of air in, and then you want to breathe it all out, a long exhale. So when you're not pretending to be an unhappy child, less dramatic, it looks a bit like this. I made that a little bit louder so you could really hear what was going on. But if I don't want to make it super loud, maybe I'm sitting in a meeting at work and I realize that this meeting could have been an email. Much quieter. When you do the physiological sigh, especially for the first time, you might be surprised because I feel it. I literally feel it in my body. And when I was reading about the work of Jack and Mark, I suddenly realized why. The neurons that kind of, oh, at least this is what I think is the why. The neurons that control kind of how we breathe and stuff, that's in the brainstem, right here at the base of the skull. And I feel literally a sensation that kind of starts there and it goes up over my head and down my spine. And it's super wild. It's super cool. I've taught this to clients and they'll say the same thing, like, whoa. And friends and family and my own children. I need to teach to my cat who won't stop screaming at the door. I don't know if you can hear her, but she's making me need a physiological sigh right now. That's actually my daughter's cat, but Ginger, go away. I might have to put a cameo of her in this video now. But yeah, so I literally feel it when I do that breathing technique. I feel it. And if you don't put anything else in your toolbox for anxiety, like in the moment, in the spur of the moment anxiety, put this in. Yeah, there's tons of other techniques. I've gone over tip already on this channel for distress tolerance, which is part of DBT. I've done other things, but out of all of the things, if I could only recommend people have one skill to deal with overwhelming acute stress in the moment, for some people that's going to look like massive anxiety or maybe even a panic. If I could only recommend one thing for people to try, it's literally this physiological sigh, if that's the only thing in your toolbox. So practice it with me. 2 breaths in and then 1 long breath out, filling up the lungs as much as you possibly can. You'll feel it. You will really feel it. Do that 1 or 2 or 3 times or more if you need to, and watch the stress just melt away. I'm excited to see how it works for you. So please tell me in the comments because I want to know. And also share it with somebody. Who do you know who needs to be able to calm down? Maybe it's a kid in your life that you can share it with, because my good Lord, if I'd had some of these skills at a younger age, like, why wasn't this getting taught when I was in elementary school, right? We were told, suck it up, buttercup, like, control yourself. There wasn't the, breathe and tell me what you're feeling. It was all like, you're being obnoxious and you're embarrassing me, stop. So this is a great tool to teach to children and to help them learn to regulate their own bodies as well. So yeah, tell me who you're going to share it with. Tell me how you experienced it yourself in the comments. Check out the other Mindful Monday videos. You can go back a few weeks and find that tip skill I mentioned. This is a relatively new channel. I'm trying something new here because we are living in a place of it feels very chaotic right now with the government and everything else. So please like, subscribe, and share. Help me build this page so that we can get these skills and these facts and figures and these important things about civics and politics and education and all the things out to more people. It's really important because we need to be talking about all this stuff. We need to have tools for how we deal and manage with all this stuff. If you have friends who are immigrants who are fearing for their, literally, potentially their lives, like those poor people that have been sent to sea caught, I can only imagine what it's like for immigrants who are fearful of ICE, don't know what's going to be happening to them in the next few weeks. They could really maybe benefit from having a way to calm the body. Not because their fears are irrational or they shouldn't feel anxious. Of course they're going to feel anxious. That's completely rational. But having a way to calm the body so that they're not always in this state of hyperarousal can help them think and plan and figure things out. So please share with them as well. What's happening right now, it's not right, it's not fair, and we got to fight back. And taking good care of ourselves is one of the ways we fight back. Yeah, there's protests, there's rallies, there's things like that that we absolutely can and hopefully are doing, should be doing, but also we have to take care of ourselves in the midst of all of this, because we can't be warriors for social justice, warriors for economic and political justice, if we ourselves are completely overwhelmed and burned out. We won't be effective. So take good care of yourself, take good care of those around you, spread love and light, not hate, and I will hopefully see you for What the Fuck Wednesday in a couple days. All right, friends, take care. Thanks for watching.